Hello again. Hope that you're bearing with me, enjoying these videos. Oh, by the way, you can, I watch YouTube videos. Okay, so people go, smash that like button and subscribe. Yeah, smash the like button and subscribe. I hope that this is somehow entertaining, if not useful. Although I get it. Yeah, humility allows me to understand that neither of those things may be true. Anyway, if you know, this is my classroom in the forest. Maybe this shot you don't really see enough of the forest. I'll move the chalkboard out of the way so you can see the forest better. How's that? I don't know if that'll stay there. Oh yeah, it stays there. That's not bad. So we got forest over here. We got me here. And we got some chalkboard right there. Okay. You may know I like to talk about things. I like to talk about people. I like to talk about ideas. Okay. Thing. I'm going to talk about a thing. The thing is hydrogen. It's awesome. It's great. There's been a little bit of people like to make videos about hydrogen and go into great details explaining, the merits and the benefits and the list of negatives. But in general, there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of research into how hydrogen can move us forward as we transition our world away from reliance upon hydrocarbons, which contain hydrogen, and moving towards something that is not giving us the utility. Remember, we talk about utility, this idea that human beings, you want to maximize the fun in your life, the joy in your experience, and the utility. You want to have as much utility as possible. And I talked about criteria a while ago, but this hydrogen thing, it's good. Okay. It's got a long, lengthy list of challenges and problems, but in the scope of humanity at the moment, it's good. And even if you go to this base level, why is it good? It's good because there's a whole bunch of people doing research on it. And they're discovering ways it can be used or not used, or benefit the world or not benefit the world. And just takes a while, okay? And in the spectrum of human time experience, that's funny. Let's talk for a second about number lines. Is anyone here in North America? Have an idea? Canada? Okay, Canada. Okay, I'll do a little illustration. Canada. Okay, can you see this over here? This side? So this is Newfoundland, okay? Canada. This is kind of Nova Scotia. Then you get New Brunswick is kind of here like this. Quebec is a tiny bit enormous. It's Quebec. Ontario. Ontario is really huge. Goes way over here like this. Ontario. Then you have Manitoba. Then you have Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. People should like Canada because Saskatchewan is a fun word to say. Saskatchewan. You have Saskatchewan. Then here we have Alberta. Alta. Then over here, we have British Columbia. Over here, we have Vancouver Island. Down here is a town called Victoria. Okay. What does this have to do with hydrogen? Oh, well, it has stuff to do with hydrogen, believe me. What it has to do with it is this, that is Newfoundland. Then this is basically the continent of North America. That is Victoria over there. Now, if you're going to get in your car, why not, and drive from here, that's St. John's, Newfoundland. There's St. John's. Canada has, well, in the east there's two. There's St. John in New Brunswick and St. John's in Newfoundland. Okay. You can drive from St. John's, Newfoundland to see this Victoria, British Columbia, you're going to drive across this whole place. And there's a road. There's a road. This is the road. And there's a ferry. There's another ferry over there. There's maybe a couple more. You go like this, and you wind up there, okay? You drive from that side to that side. That's Canada, okay? And just for reference, it is about 7,000 kilometers, or that's about 4,500 miles, if you happen to be in the land of the mile. Okay, so you get there, you drive there, it's that far. Maybe it's even a little bit farther. You can look it up. But for the point of the conversation, that's enough. Good enough. But this number, 7,000. Okay, let's go. Remember that. That's Canada. Now we'll go over here. Okay, this is the world. Okay, so this is the sun. It's all happy. Sun. Then you have a planet here, you have a planet here, and you have a planet here. This is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. I can go on. And you get out here, you get to Pluto. Pluto. I think Pluto's in the midst of a resolved or unresolved identity crisis. I don't know. But there, the Earth. Okay, the Earth. Now, the Earth, we'll use this, we'll erase it. Okay, erase this. So this is the Earth. 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 Okay, Earth. Question for you. How old do you think the Earth is in conversational terms? What is conversational terms means you're not going to be like Cliff Clavin at the end of the bar, for those of you old enough to remember Cheers, and say, wait a second, it's actually, conversational terms means good enough, okay? Good enough. I talked about good enough. If you go back a bunch of videos, I had a big speech about good enough. Good enough means how old is the Earth in good enough terms? Good enough terms means that the Earth is about 7,000 7 billion 7 years. Okay. 7 billion years in terms of Earthness. Okay, 7 billion years. What does this have to do with hydrogen? Oh, what does this have to do with Canada? Oh, what does this have to do with the Trans-Canada Highway? Well, you notice that this number here, the 7,000 number, is kind of the same as this other number over here, the 7,000 kilometer number. Okay, now, teachers, if you're paying attention, it's kind of useful because 7,000 kilometers, okay, 7,000 kilometers, I can go over to this side, okay, 7,000 kilometers is 7,000, 1 kilometer, meters, okay, 7,000 meters, 7 billion meters, or 7,000 millimeters. Millimeters. Okay. Millimeters. A millimeter. A millimeter is, I don't happen to have one. Millimeter is approximately the thickness of a dime. Okay. They're 25 millimeters in an inch for you people that are in inch land. Okay. Millimeters. There are 1,000 millimeters in a meter. And there happens to be 7 billion millimeters in the drive, or the walk, or the crawl, or the stagger between Victoria, British Columbia, and St. John's, Newfoundland. If you're following me in Canada, or you understand Canada, or if you want to do it in the United States, consider it from Miami around all the way over to, well, it's further than Miami to Seattle, but basically Miami to Seattle. Okay. Or if you're in Europe, we're going to get to Europe. Europe's a bigger chat because there's some badness there. Anyway, Europe. But now we're in this idea. Okay, now what does this have to do with hydrogen? Well, 7 million. Okay, so that's 7 billion millimeters. I'm going to exaggerate in the point of conversational accuracy. I'm going to say I'm 50 years old. 50 years old. 50. It's 25. 50 years old is 2 inches. That's 2 inches on this number line that I have imagined between St. John's, Newfoundland and Victoria, British Columbia. My lifespan, 2 inches. Let's pretend we're really optimistic and let's say that human beings live to be 100 years old. 100 years? It's 4. 4 inches, 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters, it's 4 inches. That's you. So if you're standing in the middle of Saskatchewan, because it's a fun word to say, and you look at the road and you're facing north, so you look to your left. To your left is Victoria, British Columbia. You look to your right. To your right is St. John's, Newfoundland. And you take your 4 fingers like this and you put them down your road and you say, okay, that's you. That's your life. Okay? That's your life. It's 100 years. Now, a long time ago, I might have talked about thermodynamics. Might have talked about economics. I know I talk about economics because economics is very important, and especially it's important if we can incorporate economics in the conversational sense into our lives. Okay. The point is that in this big spectrum of the history of the world, 4 inches. Canada, 100 years, human life, okay? So I'm here and say like the words I used in the last sentence, they just come into my head extemporaneously. I just thought it up. The words I'll use in the next sentence, same way, okay? Point is that human destiny is a compendium of circumstance, a compendium of seemingly random actions, okay? And we stumble along and we find our path and we find our way and we find our successes. And this has been going on for a while, but less time than you think, because human beings have been on the planet round number 1 million years, okay? 1 million years. It's like 1 million centimeters, okay? 1 kilometer. So when you're driving along from from east to west or west to east, whichever direction you're going, it takes about 36 seconds for you to travel 1 kilometer. And that is the compendium of human history. That's it. That's a human experience on the planet. And then if you roll the clock back to, let's say to BCE, before a common era, that's like 2,000 years, which is like 2,000 millimeters, which is 2 meters. Millimeters, is that? Yeah, goodness gracious. 2,000 years is 2 meters. And there's 7 million meters in a billion. Billions, 7 billion. So humans on the planet Earth haven't been here that long in the big picture, okay? But if you follow, we're in a thing called the Anthropocene, which means that the principal driving thing that influences the climate and influences the Earth at this moment is human activity, Anthropocene. Okay, and there's a movie by Jennifer Bachwald and Ed Bertinsky, and Ed's kind of a friend of mine, and there you go. But that's it. So my point is that this little interval. So to discard or dismiss or step away from hydrogen at this moment is a mistake, because it's a valuable thing, okay? So it's a big span of time, this research into this thing, there you go. And some of the naysayers on hydrogen are going to say, well, where does it come from, right? Right now it comes from, largely it comes from steam methane reformation, which is the same as saying it comes from hydrocarbon, or from the dinosaur juice, something. But which isn't really true. It's more like plant juice, but hundreds of millions of years old. But hydrogen, it's good, okay? And I can explain at length why that is, but you know what? If you notice, I don't really bother explaining some things at length because there's a lot of people that are working on the at-length explanations. And if you want to find an at-length explanation, then I suggest that you visit your local university and you take a bunch of classes and you study up to form the foundation that's necessary to assess the knowledge that's going to affect and influence your life. There you go. That's a me, okay? It's a bit long, this one, but I got out drawn pictures. This idea, 7,000, this number line. So when you're contextualizing your life, remember, we are but, a whisper in the night. That is as humans, and so we have to take advantage of every whisper and take advantage of everything and take advantage in what we can. And the way we take an advantage is if we can be somehow helpful to that guy next to you or the woman down the street, then do that. Be kind, be helpful, and there you are. And kindness doesn't have to be there's a bit difference. I'm going to do, maybe later I'll explain the difference between kindness and niceness, okay? They're related, but they're not the same. Okay, thank you. Bye now.